Okay, so we have opened our Solidworks. Now, if you first open it for the first time, you're going to get a window panel. Just press X on that so you start off here. We need to create a new file. So all we're going to do is, using a mouse, we're going to go to File, New. You might get a window of what measurements you want to use. I'm using the millimeter, gram, and I forget the other one, but basically it's the smallest unit of the metric system. So when you go File and New, you're going to open this window as well. There are three options: Part, Assembly, and Drawing. We're going to ignore this drawing for now. What we're only going to focus on is Part and Assembly. Now, an assembly is when multiple parts that you've made are joined together. Another word for part is a component, so you have two components that you can join together to form an entire product. But of course, to make those components, we need the parts, so we're going to click on Part here and press OK. Now this will generate a blank document, and you see there are, first of all, the main things. You have the left side here with all your planes, your origin, and here you will see your steps as well, and you have your top toolbar. Now sometimes it's on the right side as well, but that can easily be changed when you can just grab this and shift around. So first thing we need to do is to create a sketch of whatever we want to make. In SolidWorks or any CAD, a 2D sketch is then created into a 3D model. To demonstrate that, using your mouse pointer, go to this toolbar where there's a bunch of words such as features, sketch, mesh, modeling. You may not have as much as I do, or you have more. Ignore that for now. So across from features there is sketch, so we're going to click on sketch and we're going to press this sketch button. This will allow us to choose what plane we want to create a sketch on, and I'll talk about that now. So we have three planes to choose from. This is the X, Y, and Z, or how SolidWorks have done it, the top, right, and front. This will determine what position your product will look like. It really doesn't matter, so all I'm going to choose is the top plane. It doesn't matter how you're looking at it for the purpose that we're doing it. So looking at the top plane, we just want to create a simple cube. Now a cube is a square, is a 3D square. So in CAD terms, it's a square that has been extruded the same distance as its length. So starting off with that shape, we're going to go with a corner rectangle, click it. All the shapes are in this small little box here. I'm going to create a square. So just to show you, I'm going to create a rectangle, and to make this a square, you can go on Smart Dimension, click aside. Now 143, it's a bit big, so I'm going to go 100. Now the short side, we're going to do the same thing, going on Smart Dimension. It's already clicked, it's a toggle. We're going to click the short side, it's 37, we're going to change it to 100, and because we've defined two sides, it will define the other two as well. So now we have a perfect 100 by 100 square. To finish our sketch, we will go onto this arrow here, what I like to think is a Twitter sign. I'm not really sure. We're going to click it, and as you can see, we have a square. Now to rotate like this, I'm just using my center mouse wheel and clicking on it. So scrolling with the mouse wheel and clicking the mouse wheel, and that's all it is. Now to make this a cube, we have to extrude this, meaning turn this 2D into a 3D shape, the same distance as one of our side lengths. So from sketch here, we're going to go on features, extruded boss / base. Don't click the extrude cut if you have that option. You don't want to click any of these. I will show you what these are later, but the first thing is extruded boss / base. Actually, let's show you this. This is a grey line, that means we haven't selected it. As soon as we select it, it will show you a blue line. If we unselect it, so going back to our sketch, once we finish it, we're going to click the empty space around it, go to extrude boss / base, and click one of our lines. Now this selects the entire square because it's an enclosed space, and you will be allowed to extrude it as much as you want. Now there's a small icon here called D1. This is the distance that we're going to extrude from. Ignore this for now, I'll show you what that does later, but right now we want it to extrude 100 up. Let's have that looked. 100 millimeters. And that, as you can see, hasn't been created into a cube yet, but this is a preview of what we're going to make. Before you click the tick button here, check if this is what you wanted. If it isn't, it's easier to stop now than go back and reverse all the previous steps. So check now if this is what you want. I think this looks good. It looks like a cube to me. So what we're going to do is press tick. And there you go. You have a cube, your first cube that you've made in Solidworks. Now, like I said, there were other functions in the extrude boss or base. I'll get to them soon. Let's create another sketch on another surface. So when we press sketch here, we can now choose one of the surfaces of our cube. So we have 6 surfaces to choose from. If we don't want to choose any surface of this, all we're going to go back is press the X. We're going to go back to features, reference geometry, and this is an entire new thing. I will get to that soon. So I'm going to go to sketch, new sketch, and I'm going to press let's create a sketch here. Actually, okay, so if you create a sketch and you don't want it to you don't want to continue the sketch anymore and you want to discard it, all you can do is press the X here. It'll ask you if you want to discard the changes to the sketch. I like to show this every now and again just in case, because the tick is very close to the cross. So I say discard changes and exit. And that doesn't affect this model, it just deletes my sketch that I just started. So I'm going to go to this face and I'm going to create a little knob. I'll show you in a second what I mean. So I'm going to go to sketch again, this toggle button here, in the sketch menu, the sketch toggle, we're going to go to one of the side faces and we're going to go to corner rectangle, and on this line, as you can see, it shows up orange. I'm going to click anywhere and create a little rectangle there. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how it looks, as you can see. So I'm going to press the blue Twitter sign again, and that is how it looks now. As you can see again, it's blue. I'm going to keep it blue. I'm not going to click off into the empty space yet because I want to immediately extrude it. So extrude bottom base. See this? This is going the opposite direction I want it to. Now there's 2 ways to go it to this direction, to the other face. The first way is you can use the arrow and flip it, but then again, this may be a very disgusting fraction distance. Right now it's 100. This length is 100, but it may be 100.123.678, whatever it is. Because of that, what we can also do is go to this menu here, the blind menu, and we can go to up to surface. There are not that many useful things here. The main 3 are blind, through all, and up to surface. We've seen blind, it's any value you put in. It won't take any consideration of what that value is. We can have then up to surface, which we click, and then we click the surface we want it to be flush with. So as you can see, we started from there, we're ending parallel to the surface, and then we're extruding the exact distance of this cube. Why would you want to use this? Like I said again, what happens if the distance you want the extruding to be is a very horrible number, a horrible fraction, it's easier to go to up to surface than measure that distance in SolidWorks and then put that value in. It's 10 times easier if you extrude it up to a surface so it's flush. And that's it. That's your basic component with the basic tools in SolidWorks.